Respected Dr. V.L. Indira Dutt Madam, President of Andhra Chamber of Commerce, respected Dr. Jas Giri, Chairman Telangana Chapter and also Andhra Chamber of Commerce, Guest of Honor Sri Shivarama Prasad Ji, Assistant Director, Ministry of MSME, Balanagar, Hyderabad, Telangana, and our eminent speaker on introduction and overview of sustainable development governance starting from 1860, 1860 to 2023, Pradhan Mantri 8 broad activities on environment, Sri P.S. Kumar Ji, our retired Drugs Control Director, Sri G. Gopala Krishnamurthy Garu, and all council members of Andhra Chamber of Commerce and Industry, stakeholders from different sectors representing Andhra and Telangana, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to one and all. And after attending two presentations, everyone has to reactivate their proteins present in our left brain so that whether really we are focusing to target zero defect to zero effect through clean environment and clean, green, cleanable India. So this is the thought I got. I am from regulatory side because one person took initiative and given comprehensive list starting from 1860 to 2023. What is sustainability? What is environment? What are the recommendations from United Nations framework on climate change, 15 sustainable goals, and Kyoto Protocol Japan 1997 and 2017 recommendation with respect to various broad activities related to the carbon emission intensity focusing on 25 to 45% reduction, and our government of India also given comprehensive important clauses in our policy. Clause number 8.4 deals with 40 to 45% by 2030. So this is the background information, friends. So I am a regulator. So taking care of all important pharmaceutical manufacturers, including bulk drugs, where the carbon content plays very, very important role with respect to controlling real carbon and how the burning of fossil fuel content related to carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, and other important elements and divalent catalysts and methane like important moieties moving in the environment. So friends, everyone knows, and our Shivaram Prasad ji bataya, पिछले last 5-6 years में lot of revolutionary changes took place with respect to MSME sector, and we are also having a well-defined text for the SME, small and medium entrepreneurs. Here MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises, categorically divided for different stakeholders. What are the important subsidies and incentives given by the various state government as well as government of India? Very good tables are as given. But sir, you please forget all these schemes and incentives. You please think out of the box. As a true scientist, as an innovator, if you think out of the box, you can have lot of novel ideas to develop the modern therapies. Now things are changing. We are going to shift our chemical industries to biological industry. Next future is that, my dear friends. I am not that great, but as a regulator, we have been actively involved with respect to various forums and having debates globally how we are going to achieve real patient safety with respect to life-threatening conditions, rare diseases. Because of all these climate changes, because of air pollutants, we are going to have lot of effects on our vital organs, particularly lungs. Everyone knows after COVID situation, post-COVID complications, people are having so many problems. So we are not going to see with our naked eye, my dear friends. So you are all captains. Accordingly, you have to focus whenever you want to go for the greenfield project. You have to select the technologically driven projects, how you are going to explore with respect to your industries for the promotion of industrialization, including pharmaceutical sector. When the 8 billion steel we are exporting to Europe and 18 billion different exports, and European Commission is having a separate policy, CAMB policy, everyone knows, already PS Kumar have told. So these are all things. So I will not hammer you, but definitely as a regulator and MSME sector and the eco-friendly environment, because we are going to have, we are having lot of clusters. Even we are also promoting the medical devices parks, pharmaceutical parks, because when I was in Gujarat in the year 2002, 2005 and 2008, we have promoted various clusters. This concept created in the Gujarat, Ahmedabad and some of the areas related to Palghar, Tarapur and Ratnagiri areas of the Maharashtra. So at least I got some idea with respect to the promotion of the clusters. Cluster definition already Shivaram Prasad Sahab is given. But really we are adhering all important regulatory norms, including pollution control guidelines, is the question mark. Suppose after 5-6 years I will retire and I will go to my hometown Warangal, I will purchase 100 acres of the land, I will go for the complete plantation. What is the expected carbon content in that? If I want to establish small bulk drug company, is the question. If you go to Pragati Nagar, Prashant Nagar, lot of industries. We are all closely living. How many people are going to see with our naked eye? I am not criticizing, but in case of developed countries, USA, Europe, they are going to have, suppose if one anti-cancer drug APIs or some formulation units, whenever they go for the exhaust with respect to the scrubber, we do not know, we are not going to see, but how much distance we have to give. They will keep 500 kilometers distance, minimum 400 to 500 miles. Here we are within our area. So many people are living, including me, we are all close by. Then you have to see the depth level of water, what we call the water management. Then the disposal things, then waste management. Waste management as per the biosafety guidelines, how many people are really following? 1996 guideline, 2014, 2018 and 2022 document, well-defined guidelines with respect to all different waste, how we have to classify, what are the waste we have to take care in and to have the adequate measures for the disposal as for the waste management guidelines are concerned. So there are all things, friends. So as a regulator, I am having the overall idea with respect to different industries, particularly bulk drug. Bulk drug manufacturers also require thorough attention with respect to controlling the important emissions from your plant. So pollution control people are coming, they are taking sample, the carbon content, nitric oxide, methane, nitrous oxide, then pH level, then total organic carbon, again the total heavy metal, total solids, etc. But sometimes it is very difficult to ensure really whether we are really strictly adhering to those norms is the question mark. So friends, Government of India under the able leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister of India taking lead with respect to lot of initiatives in order to promote industries under Make in India initiative and also to promote the ease of doing business, digital India, health missions and also including all sectors, not only steel and other factories, but government is committed to promote industries but at the same time with zero defects as well as zero effects to the environment as far as India is concerned. So green India, cleanable India. अब you go to Varanasi, the Ganga को कैसा साफ सफाई किया? I had been to Varanasi earlier 5 years, because 5 years before, 10 years before, Ganga was different. Now it's different. Go to Allahabad, Yamuna, Saraswati, and Ganga. How the Triveni Sangam ka dekho. So things are changing. We are all part of that. And in our Telangana state and Andhra Pradesh, people are promoting Haritaharam, plantation. Honorable our ex-Chief Minister of Telangana, KCR have also took lot of initiatives to promote the clean environment as far as Telangana state is concerned. Andhra also, Chief Minister of Andhra is also taking initiative with respect to promoting the clean Andhra. So ultimately, our Andhra Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Telangana chapter, with the support of our Giri Saab and Dutt Madam, really, you are all taking care, Madam. I would like to really congratulate for taking these important steps with respect to ESG, Environment Sustainable Governance, with respect to the industries, how we have to take measures with respect to promotion of high quality products, domestic as well as international market is also one of the important things, friend. Pharmaceutical sector is also growing sector. We are contributing $25 billion to export, $25 billion. We are catering the needs of all domestic population within our country. If you see the country's demography and all, we are going to have the fastest growing economy by 2047 because of young talent mind with respect to 22 to 27 age group are going to be the future with respect to life sciences sector, engineering sector, and other important allied industries including steel industries, civil industries, mechanical industries, and etc. So things are changing. We have to promote, and Government of India is also committed to promote industrialization, but only thing is we need to have proactive steps, at the same time positive thinking rather than having negativity with respect to our thoughts are concerned. So India is going to be the destination for the future, and people are looking, different countries are also looking in order to promote and invest in different parts of our country. So Uttar Pradesh also recently they have issued one pharmaceutical policy. Just today only we made one concept note with respect to the facilitation under single window platform, how we are going to promote industrialization. Largest and as well as more populated dense state of Uttar Pradesh, you see how they are going, because three parts already identified. One is Lalitpur, other one is near to Kanpur and Lucknow, sir. So I am also one of the member. Our ex drugs control director also is one of the advisor to Honorable CM. So in the same way, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, again Karnataka, that is Bangalore part, then Chennai, lot of people are from the Chennai. So the South Belt also taking lead. Now in the same way, North people are also gearing up with respect to meeting expectation of the global demand. Not only pharma, every sector is having their own importance, provided if you keep good thoughts for the betterment of society, we can do wonders, and India is going to be the destination, global destination with respect to all our important products. So with this, I will not hammer. Our best wishes are always with you. Anyone is interested to establish bulk drug company or any important biological product industry, we are all here to facilitate you under single window program with more accountability and transparency as far as our initiatives are concerned. Now, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare taking care of all important activities through online. How the our Shivaram Prasad Saab bola, क्या बोला? संबंधी पोर्टल, समाधान पोर्टल, और ये देखो अभी आने वाले समय और ज्यादा हो जाएगा. तो इतना अच्छा मीनिंग है उसका, बिकॉज इन ऑर्डर टू हैव मोर ट्रांसपेरेंसी. उसमें लिखा था www.msc.gov.in. everything, even for the consultant, those who are hiring, they are going to bear. So things are changing. So utilize all schemes as far as industries are concerned and go for more employment generation. Then God will ultimately bless you when your intentions are good and objectives are good for the betterment of society and also to promote the global health at international level. Thank you very much. I am blessed with Giri Saab and Indra Madam, and definitely next time I would like to take one technical presentation for the life sciences sector, how the challenges they are facing, what are the objectives, what are the key initiatives undertaken by Government of India since 2014 to 2024, because 10 years का one decade हो गया, and we are all here to facilitate and support the Chamber of Commerce and Industry to keep our flag at international level. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts.
Thank you, Dr. Ramakishan, for that very encouraging speech for MSMEs to move on from just schemes to research and innovation, and to move and avail of all the support that the government can offer to reach your sustainable development goals. Thank you very much. Now may I request Mr. Shivaram Prasad also to take the dais, please. We'll have a Q&A session for about 15 minutes, so please ask.
Good evening, sir. This is Dr. Ramakishan from ACP University. This is not a question actually. Yes, sir. Actually, we have covered that the net zero one, that is from positive here. There is one green credit. After that, actually, in the November 2023, Ministry has released that e-waste credits also.
Sorry?
E-waste credits also.
Yeah.
That is also one new scheme actually. We have covered actually. But the major gap actually what we facing from the industry actually. The credits what we are earning from, like green credits and e-waste credits, or something like fuel credits, like the pharmaceutical credits, whatever they are earning actually, or we are where is that we are getting debit actually. So we don't have any facility to transfer these credits where we have good credits. We don't have any facility to credit these credits to the other one.
Can I just interrupt you for a minute? The Environment Protection Act of 1996, subsequently, a number of rules have been framed, e-waste rules, plastic waste rules, batteries, etc., etc. I mean, there are lots and lots of schemes. The new concept, I mean, it's an old concept, but it's taken more seriously now, is the extended producer responsibility. Now, you're talking about e-waste. In e-waste, there'll be 4 players. The people who collect them and then process them, remove them, because e-waste has got a lot of valuable materials, and including platinum, gold, etc., etc. So the idea is to remove those metals, recycle them, and dispose of the e-waste without causing any, keep them out of landfills and so on. One of the activities of, there's an aggregator who does all this, and he will gain credits, e-waste credits. Now this is where the extended producer's responsibility falls upon the EPR on producers. The responsibility falls on the producers. Either they can do the aggregation and then removing the metals, recycle them, or let somebody else do it, earn credits, and the EPR, the producers will buy the credits from them. So there is actually a need for the producers to buy those credits or certificates from the people who are actually doing the work. I think in Europe, in some of the countries, every time somebody sells a car, they have to collect the future disposable cost. Every customer has to pay for that, and then finally the government concerned will bear out of that, remit that money to the government, and the products will be disposed of, and the cost will be met out of that fund. So there are a lot of schemes like this being formed, especially in waste management.
One of the gap what we are facing from the industry actually, whatever the credits we are earning for for the e-waste or for green credits, we don't have any option to utilize it where we are in minus actually. For example, if we are earning green credits, that is only dedicated to the green credits. We can buy or we can purchase in that column only. If we have any debit like we carbon credits for net zero or greenhouse gases like in that column, we don't have any option to use these credits in that actually.
The new scheme is coming actually. It's going to be a very, very detailed scheme, and it's going to be huge, the carbon credit market in India. The new one has not yet been announced. The statute has been announced, but the rules, how it's going to be done, is not been announced yet. I think another 2-3 months it will be announced.
Actually, the thing is that right now we are paying for that actually. That is one of the gap.
Possibly.
That is the problem actually.
The old scheme came out of the Kyoto Protocol. It wasn't very successful because it was limited to 41 developed countries. So it wasn't a very successful scheme. but the new one is going to be huge, massive. That's why I'm excited, because even individuals can generate carbon credit. So imagine at every village, self-help groups
Yes.
can be formed with contributions by the, because most of the industries have now been dispersed to backward areas. So every, for instance, your own plant in Muktiala, cement plant in Muktiala, you can do wonders there if you interact with your local population, with your employees, and then generate carbon credits, and then help them market them. That will so it will pump so much of money into the rural economies. That's a beautiful scheme. In fact, as I said, I think I did mention this. Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, made a specific reference to it in COP28 in Dubai about the Indian. There's only one other country that has done before, South Korea, in 2016. This individual personal carbon credit. You can do something on the rooftop and get a carbon credit.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else on my presentation? I'll be glad to answer.
Yes, sir. This is Srinath Koda, I'm into the solar.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sir.
This is Srinivas, I am into the solar. As you have said that for planting the trees we are going to get the credits. Similarly, for the rooftops also, as the expert are you suggesting the credits?
The rules have not been announced yet. Again,
Okay.
Because these are the schemes that have been, broad outlines have been given.
Okay.
But the rules are, some of the, about 8 particular schemes have been, avenues have been announced, where carbon credits can be earned by the individuals, 8 different avenues, out of which 4 of them are rural based. So we still don't know the rules, but I think it will be very, very liberal. But again, you have to remember the additionality factor. You cannot do something out of an obligation to do something and then get a credit for that also. It needs to be a purely voluntary effort, and it has to be looked at it from that perspective, what's called the additionality.
Okay.
And as I said, I think you'll have to wait another 2-3 months for the detailed guidelines.
Like MSME, we are having the site for details, like credits also, because some companies are installed the solar, but they do not know how to get the credits. Do you have any clear policy or consultant where we can get the credits?
I think solar policy is fairly well known. I personally have no experience, honestly, but I think its knowledge is fairly diffused. It's available to a lot of people.
No,
And-
solar knowledge is there, sir. Getting the credits.
No,
is
that's
there
what I'm
any-
saying.
Yeah.
The how to work out the system. There are a lot of consultants, specializing in these matters. I don't deal in that. But what I'm saying is the knowledge of how to do these things is well diffused. Is available to everywhere. And there are a lot of websites. The official websites are there, and I think they vary from state government to state government, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you need to look into those aspects, and probably a consultant will be the best person to help you with that.
I am that solar policy, everything is okay, sir. I am talking about the credits.
That's what I'm saying. Even for credits, there are consultants who will help you get them,
Okay, sir.
tell you how to do it. But again, it goes back to the green taxonomy, because unless we know the green taxonomy unless we see that what it contains, is going to raise a lot of litigation, because you may do something that you believe you are entitled to a credit, but then when you go and claim the credit, when the accreditation agencies come and inspect your work, they may disallow it. So at that point, the litigation may arise. That's why we need a very clear understanding of what can give you a credit and what cannot give you a credit. That's why the policy, I'm also eagerly waiting for that, actually, green taxonomy. A lot of consultants are waiting. All the broad outlines we know, like investment in solar, energy, or planting trees. But then when you go into the details, which is where you'll get, you'll have to be very, very sure about it. That part we have still not got yet. Another 2 months, I think it will be out. But, a lot of things have happened in the year 2022. Policy matters were announced, but then detailed. In fact, even for instance, Digital Personal Data Protection Act was announced about 2 months ago. That's going to be a huge, issue for everybody, whoever handles data. But the guidelines have not yet been announced yet. So a lot of issues, a lot of statutes have been passed in 2022, but the detailed guidelines are not yet available, are not yet drafted. Anybody else? Any other?
Sir, thank you very much for your lovely presentation. I just wanted to check out, like, whenever we think of environment, we think of polluting companies or manufacturers and all. how does service sector contribute to the global warming or climate change?
Travel miles is one thing actually. People travel and consume jet fuel. In fact, that the carbon tracker. There's a site called Carbon Tracker. They actually publish. I mean, you buy an apple from America. Apple travels all the way from America and you buy it here, or a chocolate manufactured in America and you buy it here. That has traveled 10,000 miles. No, seriously. I mean, that's what the Carbon Tracker is all about. It tracks your carbon miles, how much fuel you have burned, and that fruit you buy. Take food waste. 20% of the food. I mean, I'm not talking about the food waste in silos and the godowns. I'm talking about the food that is cooked, comes to the table, and gets thrown away. You know how much of it is? According to one statistics, don't ask me the veracity of the statistics. 3.4 trillion apples are thrown away every year. Now, how anybody counted the 3.4 trillions, I have no idea. But then if somebody can count the gross domestic product, you can count that also. Because there is of late we've been seeing criticism about the GDP, methodology of computation of GDP, how reliable it is, all that we've been seeing. But the point is, like greenhouse gases, emissions, counting of emissions, we don't have a good methodology. Everybody knows that. We rely on standards. Like I said, if I buy a megawatt of electricity from a supplier, my supplier's electricity composition product mix comprises, solar, thermal, hydel, windmill, etc., and each one with a different emission rate. But then when I buy a megawatt of power, I have no idea what he is generating and what he is emitted. But then in the absence of the availability of figures, I only go by the global standards. I say I have consumed 1 megawatt in scope 2, so this is what I have emitted. My producer of electricity has emitted. But eventually this will become rule based and will become very rigidly laid down by the government of India, because ultimately these statistics will form your figures you have to submit to the UN.
So just put a light on the healthcare and IT sector industry who are contributing to the
IT sector consumes power like mad. Your whole
data centers,
cryptocurrencies and blockchains is all about consumption of power, isn't it? IT. I mean, blockchain crypto is all power consumption. And then the fastest growing industry in India is now data centers. You know that, right? Because we generate data by trillions of bytes every day. So all the data has got to be stored because you can't export it. Your servers has to be in India. And the fastest growing industry in India is data centers. And data centers, they don't, the way to measure data centers is by the consumption of power. So right now it's standing as 1300 megawatts. And eventually in another 15 years time, I think we'll be touching something like 5000 megawatts of power only to maintain your data centers, only to store your data. Now, which is where good data and bad data comes in, because we store every data, every piece of bytes we generate, we store, and people don't even know why they are storing it. So that's becoming a big business now. People come and can tell you which is good data, which is bad data. If it's a bad data, just dump it. Don't waste your power on maintenance of servers somewhere in a server farm somewhere. I mean, coming back to your question about jet miles, which is what the original question was. 20 years ago, they interviewed Lufthansa chairman. One of them interviewed Lufthansa chairman, and they asked him, who do you think is your biggest competitor is? The chairman of Lufthansa Airlines said, my biggest competitor is going to be AT&T, because people will start taking conference calls, sitting in their hometowns wherever they are, and rather than travel. So that is my biggest competitor, he said, and it's come true, because now Zoom has become, people don't travel. We have gone to the next level where people don't even go to the workplace. Now they say they work from home. That's the next level. I mean, forget the travel part. We don't even go to our own office. And then we had to plead with them. Now I think Infosys said they're going to make it compulsory 3-day attendance at the office, right? That's what Infosys said this morning. So a lot of things are happening in this, this particular space. Every day there's something different happening. And we are not able to keep pace with that. But eventually, as I said, things will settle down to, when it hits the plateau, things will settle down to a normal, business as usual. And we'll have to take but I still have personally, it's my personal fear. How many businesses are going to survive? I have no idea, honestly. Anyway, thank you. Yes, no problem. I would like to personally thank Dr. Girigaru because I did not do that before. And the last 2 months we've been talking about holding this meeting, and then for one reason or the other it got postponed. But Dr. Giri would not give it up, and so today I'm here thanks to Mr. Dr. Girigaru. Thank you, sir.
So may I, one question to Dr. A. Ramakishan. Thank you very much. A wonderful speech by you on the pharma industry. Government has promoted the generic medicines, which is a very good initiative, because every middle household income, they have a budget of 2,000 to 5,000 rupees for medical only because of diabetes and blood pressure medicine they buy from the market. But I'm asking you a question as a consumer, the effect of generic medicine compared to the big companies, what they're manufacturing the same tablet for BP or sugar control, the effect is not that much. People have realized, I mean, they have used it, and sometimes, of course, the doctors, they prescribe, that is one thing, but even when you use a generic drug, most of the companies, that is not effective. Is it maybe because of contractual manufacturing? Because somebody is manufacturing, somebody is selling by putting the name. How the government is taking care of these? There are certain leaks, or maybe it's a policy decision which the government may have taken. So how do you counter this, sir? Because ultimately it has to benefit the common man.
Very good question. Left brain activated, sir. So any drug means dosage form, in any form, tablet, capsule, injection, lyophilized form, inhalation, any form is administered for patients in different routes of administration. So according to law, because in our country the main law is Drugs and Cosmetic Act, enacted in the year 1940, rules framed in the year 1945. After that we got series of amendments with respect to controlling for manufacturing operations and control, sale, distribution of all medical products moving in international commerce. So whatever drug is being approved by various state licensing authorities and new drugs approved by Drugs Control General India, that is Central Licensing Authority. So just I am taking little time so that everyone can understand at a glance. As per the 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, the drugs falls under the concurrent list of Indian Constitution, that means it is governed by both Government of India and various provincial governments across the country, 29 states, 7 union territories, to take care of 142 crores, 25 lakhs, 1300, 105 population as in yesterday night, midnight, I don't know what is today. Therefore, so whatever drugs are being approved means it is meeting according to quality standards. But for that, how we can build the confidence amongst consumers like you and me, your mummy and my mummy also? All drugs are same, but yes, sometimes people are having doubts. That is the reason why Government of India in the year 2017, the drugs which falls under the category of BCS class 2, class 4, that means low permeability, low solubility, low permeability, high solubility drugs required to have clinical equivalence, what we call the bioequivalence, compared to reference products approved by international regulatory agencies. So before product endorsement, we are requesting manufacturer to submit the pharmaceutical equivalence data. I am setting an example. Generic drugs not having any definition in our Drug Act, but as per the new drugs and clinical trial rules, chapter 10, the GSR 227E, which was published on 19th March 2019, gives comprehensive illustration with regard to the generic product version with respect to ensuring quality, identity, safety, purity, in order to achieve desired pharmacological effects in hospital or clinical setting. Maybe one, two doubts, maybe not having that desired pharmacological response, but by and large, sir, according to drug control approvals, whatever approval given to the manufacturer, meeting the quality standards. In that, yes, various factors involved with regard to usage of excipient for the drug development. In our country, we are not having any regulation for controlling excipients. So recently, the Zambia incident, cough syrups, 80 children died. In that, propylene glycol is one of the pharmaceutical aid acting as a solvent with respect to development of cough syrups manufacturing. So in that, the main active constant is diethylene glycol content. The limit is 10%. If it is more than that, people are having vital organ failure and coma and out, means death. So that vehicle means propylene glycol is also meant for pharmaceutical industries and also meant for painting industry, textile industry, electronic industries, परफ्यूम्स, कॉस्मेटिक टेक्नोलॉजीज. सो सर अभी हमारा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री का आदेश के अनुसार सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्वास्थ्य और परिवार कल्याण विभाग हम जो केंद्रीय औषधि मानक नियंत्रण संगठन के तरफ से होल ऑफिशियल्स इंक्लूडिंग ड्रग रेगुलेटर्स अल्लाह से में बट मेन चैलेंज इज यूनिफॉर्मिटी with respect to implementation of effective provisions of the law is a big challenge. But by and large, we are meeting the requirements of all standards prescribed in our Indian pharmacopoeia. Therefore, India declared as a pharmacy of the world. We are number one with respect to generic products. Out of 90 billion markets having by United States of America, $2 billion of the market with respect to generic products being exporting from the India, sir. So इतना doubts रहने का जरूरत नहीं है. Putting efforts, less resources, less regulatory staff, but putting efforts with respect to enforcement activities. Now, recently last 1 year, we have started risk-based inspection in order to ensure high quality product. Second, how to build the confidence on regulators and consumers, including patients, in order to promote wellness. Number two. Number three, the companies which are having more not of standard quality products declared by Central Drugs Laboratory Government Analyst by Calcutta, and also various the drug regulatory drug control laboratories across the country. Our people are drawing sample. If anything is not meeting the parameter, now we started what we call the risk-based inspection. Based on the risk, based on the more not of standard quality, we are auditing thoroughly as per our GMP checklist, what we call good manufacturing practices, sir. So things are changing. Government of India is taking initiatives in order to promote patient-centric effects with regard to pharmaceutical items. Thank you very much.